My thoughts are mostly that he can get bent. I mean, fundamentally, you can't ban an ideology. And I don't mean that in a like, you can't do that. I mean, like, it's literally impossible. Even if you look at other countries that have very, very strict laws, especially around hate speech, like Germany, for example, they still have problems with the far right. It just doesn't work. This is what it's called if you want to look it up. And what this executive order really does is instructs his cabinet to go after his political enemies, which he was already doing. He's using the death of Charlie Kirk to make this seem like a big war against the left, It's against the people he personally does not like. So this portion of the EO instructs the FBI to investigate and prosecute people who are engaged in political violence. This is the salient point though, part I. Investigate institutional and individual funders and officers and employees of organizations that sponsor, aid, and abet the people who are doing that. When asked who he meant specifically by this, he just talks about George Soros. Like, rent-free, I swear to God. Now, I don't think, Kash Patel is going to limit this instruction to George Soros. The thing that they keep running into in these criminal cases is that you have to actually prove to a jury that the person you're accusing of the thing did that thing. They're struggling to even get indictments. And then he instructs the Attorney General to ensure domestic terrorism priorities include politically motivated acts. And then they list a bunch of politically motivated acts. These are already crimes, so kind of whatever. And the same thing with the Secretary of the Treasury, investigate financial networks that fund domestic terrorism, political violence, etc. And it's not just him who says George Soros when asked about who they're talking about here. It's also J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller. Just from a personal perspective here, I'm a pretty visible left-wing person in the world. And if they are going to expand these sorts of investigations to people who just in any way are visibly opposed to the administration, I have a target on my back. I don't care. The American government has a long history of using law enforcement to go after civil rights activists. We did this in such a big scale in the 60s. It was a whole FBI thing under J. Edgar Hoover, the Black Panthers, Martin Luther King. The difference is now this kind of thing is vastly unpopular. Nobody approves of the things that he's doing around free speech. And he's already going after Act Blue. This is just really pathetic, try hard, goober nonsense. To which I ultimately say, bring it.